Imagine a place so advanced that students traveled thousands of kilometers just to study there. A place with over 10,000 students and 2,000 teachers, more than 1,500 years ago. A place whose library was so vast that when it was burned, it is said to have continued burning for months. But here's the biggest mystery. What priceless knowledge vanished in those flames? Could humanity be centuries ahead today if this university had survived? This is the story of Nalanda, the greatest university the world has ever known. Nalanda was established around the 5th century CE during the reign of the Gupta Emperor Kumaragupta I. At a time when much of the world was struggling with political instability, India was experiencing a golden age of learning. The name Nalanda roughly means giver of knowledge, and it truly lived up to its name. Unlike modern universities that focus on a few disciplines, Nalanda taught an astonishing variety of subjects: mathematics, astronomy, medicine, logic, philosophy, linguistics, art, architecture, and even advanced debates on consciousness and reality. This wasn't just a university, it was the intellectual capital of the ancient world. Why Nalanda was number one? What made Nalanda so extraordinary? First, admission was incredibly difficult. Historical accounts suggest that only a small percentage of applicants passed the entrance examinations. Imagine Harvard, Oxford, and MIT combined, but even harder to get into. Second, education, food, housing, and learning materials were completely free. Thousands of students from China, Korea, Tibet, Japan, Indonesia, and other regions traveled for months or even years to study there. Third, Nalanda wasn't based on memorization. Students were trained to question, debate, and think critically. Arguments were tested publicly, ideas competed openly, knowledge was earned, not simply accepted. In many ways, Nalanda was practicing concepts of higher education that modern universities still value today. Here are some incredible facts. Nalanda's library complex was among the largest in the ancient world. It contained hundreds of thousands of manuscripts. Some historians believe it preserved knowledge accumulated over centuries. Chinese scholar Xuanzang spent years studying there and described a thriving academic community unlike anything he had seen. Nalanda had multi-story buildings, lecture halls, meditation centers, gardens, and residential quarters. Students discussed everything from astronomy to ethics. Think about this. More than 1,500 years ago, people from different countries, cultures, and languages were living together and exchanging ideas on a massive campus. Nalanda wasn't just a university. It was one of humanity's first truly international centers of learning. Then came the tragedy. Around the end of the 12th century, Nalanda was attacked during the military campaigns of Bakhtiar Khilji. The university was devastated, its buildings were damaged, its scholars were scattered, and its priceless manuscripts were lost. Whether every detail of later legends is historically accurate remains debated by historians, but one fact is undeniable. One of the greatest centers of knowledge in human history ceased to exist. Generations of accumulated learning disappeared. Knowledge that had survived for centuries vanished within a short period of time. What exactly was lost? We may never know. Perhaps scientific discoveries, perhaps medical knowledge, perhaps philosophical insights that could still challenge modern thinking. Every lost manuscript represented centuries of human curiosity. The destruction of Nalanda wasn't just India's loss, it was humanity's loss. Imagine if Nalanda had continued operating for 1,500 uninterrupted years. It could have become one of the world's greatest research institutions. a bridge between Eastern and Western knowledge, a center for science, medicine, philosophy, technology, and global cooperation. Today we remember Nalanda not only for what it achieved, but for what it reminds us. Knowledge is one of humanity's greatest treasures, and once it is lost, it may never be recovered. If this story amazed you, subscribe for more forgotten mysteries from the history of India and the world.